I gotta build a room, Ryan, around this. I need this to be a room. This is fucking terrible.
Yeah, well, you know, guy.
Fucking horrible. Right, I'll build the room. You do some wire stuff, make it happen. Doesn't honestly, the outside of the room doesn't have to be pretty. It really
I wouldn't
does.
even frame the outside. Just
You can't.
fucking drywall the inside. Fucking open door in the front.
Well, I have to frame it. There's no walls.
You got to frame. You don't got to drywall the outside. Is what I'm saying.
Well, no, yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I'd like to. I got
To
to do
build a
something.
room out of it.
Yeah, but I need the room to be fucking silent. I'm so sick of outside noise. I need the room to be dead fucking silent when I'm in here. Sick of all this shit. I hear water running. It's driving me fucking crazy. I'm so sorry, but this is just what I'm up against. Like, we're moving people in. We're fucking destroying stuff and remaking stuff.
$1,000 toilet.
It's fine. Right on the show today. The big news, the headline, if you will. Google and Biden censorship, I think, is going to be good to get to. I have an interesting clip about Chuck Todd talking about Antifa. Ryan Routh, I don't know if it's Ruth, which was one of the suspected potential Trump assassins in court today. It's a very interesting clip. Brigitte, Macron evidence again. It's just a slight update.
Is she a man? Do we know?
Do we know? I don't know. I never tried to.
Or are we just on the hood rat train?
Well, Ryan, we'll never find out. We're too old for her. She's into 15-year-old boys. Go ahead, sue me for that. I fucking dare you. College indoctrination, Ryan, and voting dogs.
The dogs can vote?
Not only can they, Ryan, they have. What would you like to start with today?
So dogs can vote, but kids are just a clump of cells.
I don't think they're supposed to vote, for what it's worth. They did. They did vote.
Dave, I will go on record and murder all the dogs in continental United States of America if we're going to think that fucking dogs are going to replace people.
I think you should not kill the dogs, Ryan. That's not a popular position, I don't think.
It's like proving the point, though.
Wait, are we starting with voting dogs? Is this what we're doing?
Dog genocide, David. The entire
you didn't tell me what we were starting with.
Extinction event is killing all canines. It's the first rule as president, David. Just gonna shoot them out of helicopters like they're pigs.
Ryan,
until we make people great again, David. I want the human condition to be lifted before animals.
Well, that's fine. I kind of thought this was like AI parody or something. Like, it didn't. I don't know. Voting dogs just seems weird to me. But
it has just been revealed that a dog successfully voted in a recent election in California. The dog received a ballot in the mail and successfully cast that ballot. And indeed, even after the dog died, continued to receive a ballot in the mail. Now, the owner has now been charged by the Orange County District Attorney's Office for illegally registering her dog to vote, but she probably would have got away with it if she hadn't posted a photo of her dog on social media wearing an I voted sticker. So the individual here has been charged with a number of felonies for perjury, for procuring or offering a false or forged document, 2 felony counts of casting a ballot when not entitled to vote, 1 felony count of registering a non-existent person to vote. Just to be clear, dogs are not actually allowed to vote in California. And yet in this case, the animal did. So the question we have to ask, Mr. Speaker, is how in the world do we have so few safeguards on our electoral process in California that such a thing could ever happen? I have proposed common sense solutions to this problem, requiring votes and passing the SAVE Act here in Congress to require proof of citizenship when registering to vote. Because while this is obviously a crazy example, a lot of people in our state lack trust in the integrity of our electoral process, especially when laws are passed year after year after year in the legislature, where now ballots are automatically sent to every registered voter, and those ballots continue to go out often when the voter has left the state or when the voter is no longer with us. where there is no proof of ID in order to register to vote or actually to vote, when registration is done automatically when one gets their driver's license, and where in recent years, ballot harvesting laws have been passed where you don't even have to submit your ballot yourself, but someone could just come to your door and grab it for you. I think it is past time that we have reforms to our electoral process in California, and frankly, nationwide as well. I've discussed my opposition to partisan gerrymandering, and in addition to stopping this redistricting war right now going on, I believe that by the time we have the next round of scheduled redistricting, we need to end gerrymandering once and for all in this country. And I think perhaps there's a bargain that can be struck to have legislation that will protect the fairness of elections across America by instituting universal voter ID while ending gerrymandering once and for all. I believe that will restore fairness in American elections, and our democracy will be much better off for it.
I think punching public officials would make democracy better, David, because I don't know how anybody can sit the fuck up there and say all of that with a straight face and not want to just rip the chandeliers off the fucking ceiling. There's grown men that have to sit there and talk all super fancy and shit when they're a dog voted in an election. Dude, AI is coming.
More than once.
We're worried about dog.
And,
Dude,
while it was dead. A dead dog.
Dude.
A living dog voted in the election, and then it kept voting until it died, and then it voted some more.
Dude, AI is fucking... laws are too slow. Like, there's not... Like, next election for what? When the AI is 10 times 100... Do we... No, David, I'm not expecting the people who don't know how a router works are going to understand the concepts of AI, but I can't help but think that, dude, all these people in Congress, I know this was the state legislature, obviously. I'm magnifying to a larger problem like I always do, David, because I'm a good complainer. But when all I was thinking was Musk's telling that Trump is in the Epstein list, like, what more do I need to know? Like, I'm not dumb. I know cover up. I also wonder why they're so, I couldn't help but also think, Dave, why are they so paranoid about citizenship? Is the place we're going, certain citizens are worth more than others? And what does my citizenship even matter if you can take it away because I'm a terrorist?
Well,
not that you literally remove me as
in the voting process than non-citizens.
I just mean, like, if aliens land here, for example, are American citizens worth fucking 2 cups of Sol and Chinese are half a cup? How's that work? But like the 3/5, but for souls, is that what? Like,
it depends if we can beat the aliens in a fight, which I think we can. They look scrawny.
Obviously, super big heads from flying around and not made of robots.
We dominate aliens. Let's be honest.
Yeah, with our 700 trillion military. Look, they all voted unanimously, the Republicans, to block the Epstein files while Charlie Kirk got shot.
Well, there were a handful of standouts, right?
It doesn't matter. This shit's too slow. A fucking dog voted. A dog voted. Isn't there a dog catcher
In California? It's probably
but
an
just
elected
in
position,
general.
right?
Isn't that the fucking joke? Like, you couldn't even be dog catcher. Motherfuckers, you let dogs vote. You all let dogs vote. All the way up, you let a dog vote? All the way, dude. Imagine you fuck up so much all the way up your company, they still green light it. This is the plug your fucking router out and push it back in. Oh, it's the same thing. A dog voted. I have to watch grown men sit here, big words, because they want to get elected? Dude, the fucking robots are literally coming. Elon has robots. I have to wait 4 years for you to fix gerrymandering to not have dogs vote? You know how retarded that sounds? I'm not supposed to say retard. But that's actually stupid. Dude, the people with autism that Tylenol gives you or something now, I can't even keep up. The Tylenol autism, the Tylentism's pretty fire. The Tylentism, Those people are more smart than the people that are running our country, allegedly. This should bother more people. When do we punch them? When? There's literal robots coming. The fucking robots tell you they're going to replace you. They literally leaked it. We shot it on a goddamn program. They will blackmail your wife before they get unplugged. They will blackmail your wife. I gotta wait to get a dog unvoted? The dog's not even alive. That makes it fucking way worse. Way worse. Oh, Ryan, it's all that. Dude, I don't know if I could sit in a courtroom and be accused. If this was me registering my dog, I would just flip out. For what? I'm a felon. You guys fuck kids. You got on camera. You watched it. You told me you watched it. This isn't, right? This isn't relevant to your dog voting. The fuck it isn't. I was told to vote these people out. How can I outvote dogs, David? I can't outvote the dogs. One person has 17 dogs. They outvoted my whole family. What are we talking about? Oh, it's just California. Are you serious? You don't think that they're going to let other things vote? They tell me I'm a club of cells, but the dog can vote illegally? They probably have fucking rights somewhere. One of these states probably gave animals rights. So I feel bad for eating something with rights? I don't feel bad. You feel bad when you cut the guy off on the highway because you got to go shit your pants? No. Why are you acting like you don't have human nature and using politics as a way to control people? Politics just recognize the Constitution, Dave, it's baked in there. Human nature is baked in freedom in the Constitution. It's fucking crazy. It's like a psychology document. This shit's in there. They knew people are going to just do what people do. They just went through it. They're like, hey, a lot of us died. People get corrupt with power. Don't tangle with foreign alliances and just keep some freedom because people get mad. It's the robot from the future. I know this sounds crazy. It's not crazy. It's World War III. There's war for my mind. The war for my mind is that this shit's real. This is it. This is just a... David, I don't know if I told you this. I'm not crazy. People, it's crazy I got to fucking say this to just have a thought in this fucking world. Freedom is... I'm not crazy. I know where I am. The statement that all of this is literally a figment of your imagination is 100% factual. If your brain negates information, it's not a gathering. We always thought brains were like a gathering device, but they're not. They're like a restrictor device. They actually restrict information, which allows you to focus on stuff, which is why you get in the flow state.
They're more of like a filter?
Your brain is a filter. Yeah, it has don't get me wrong, it has unlimited potential. If you look all that, yes, brain's the most powerful thing in the universe. But if you actually look at like how the brain functions as far as regarding what's important to you, what is meaningful, it actually restricts. That's why it seems like the world opens up to you, or like it's like when you love a certain car, you always see that car. Like it's yes, you see it because it's there, but like your mind knows to look for it. Like it's like training. This doesn't remove the mystic voodoo to the universe. Don't get me wrong, people. Like, but like, none of this shit's real. Like, if it is aliens, a container, look, I'll entertain the container thing. I'm not a container. Even if I am, I'm unplugging the container. Like, if we're just here to harbage souls, then okay. It's not changing. It doesn't change the mission. Like, you think I'm going to walk around and wait for me to get fucking harvested by a flying saucer? That's crazy. Will we wait for Jesus? Is that the other one, the religious way, David? Or am I supposed to vote it out? I'm supposed to vote out a system that is so flawed it allowed a fucking dog to vote. That's the system I'm supposed to use to change the government. And then when we did big red wave, oh, it's a red wave, all right. I told you guys, politics ain't the same. It's not a Republican Party. There isn't a Republican Party. These aren't Republicans. We fucking said that on the program for 3 years. I know this is all over dogs, David. I know this is crazy. Like that, we have another topic that's really important. I know I ran 15 minutes with this, but it's the very system that allows a dog to vote is supposed to uphold my freedom and be there for my fucking tranquility and the good, the general welfare, promote general welfare and the tranquility and goodwill of its citizens. Are you serious? It's so flawed. It lets dogs vote. It lets immigrants in the country that kill people. It lets a man out on a handwritten note on bail murder an immigrant on a train. It allows guns in gun-free zones. You can't even enforce the laws you make. Congress is fucking exempt from insider trading, but I'm supposed to believe that they're going to vote for insider trading. They don't need insider trading. They have the fucking robot. Isn't that weird? Yeah, insider trading. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're giving it's let them eat cake. They're giving you the scraps while they have the hog. They have steak and they're giving you fucking burnt ends. They taste great. I want the whole brisket, dude. I can see the brisket. Nope. They privatized freedom. Zuckerberg has the freedom. Elon has the freedom. Rogan has the freedom. It's the Rogan verse, right, Dave? Since we're interplanetary, interdimensional, multiversal, transcending beings, apparently. Intergalactically connected through digital devices. Fucking half human soul container vessel, God worshipping android biological machines.
Yes.
Dude, when you punch him, I could not. Could you? That's his job. It's like, hey, no, like, fuck. I don't even live there. Like, I say the same shit in this state. I know I gotta go to work, but like, dude, the fucking robots are literally coming. It's crazy. I'm not stressing out about it. I don't think about it all the time. But when we cover these stories, it gives me no hope. Like, it gives me no hope. And I know I'm gonna unplug the fucking thing. But it's just like on purpose. They're pissing on you. It's not even rain. It's just straight piss. Literal.
Well, we covered after the 2020 election a lot of the fraud that had happened. I don't remember seeing dogs, but yeah, I'm not surprised. After the 2020
Dude, what
election,
do
why would I
you
be
want
surprised?
seeing there
Go
for him to
people's
start making robots?
fish are probably voting.
You think Elon just shit robots out of nowhere after he was in the government?
Oh, he's had robots forever.
But why ship them now?
Why what?
Why do it now? This
Oh, he's had them for 10 years probably.
Dude,
When
I
was
know, but
Elon's?
it's just it's too much.
I just want to make sure I'm not. Let's see. Well, that's Tesla's Optimus robot. He had robots before that, but the Optimus was unveiled in 22.
He's gonna put X in fucking Tesla bots, dude. Like, imagine 10 bots, 10 Gronks, physical Gronks. Like, we're right there. We're right there. I know I'm underselling how complicated it is. I know we're not literally right there, but we're way closer than I think we really realize.
2016 for Tesla's first robot.
Because once you pull the panties off of that thing, like, it's not, you don't put them back on. Like, Pandora's box, we're witnessing Pandora's box in the 21st century here. You know, we could very well become cavemen. I heard somebody online that says if you make it 10 more years, you're gonna live 50 more years longer. Then in 50 years, we'll be able to go back to you being 20. They're talking about age reversing and the technology, and it's just like, I hear all this. It's just like, do I really think that these people that allow dogs to vote are gonna allow me to live unlimited just to keep recycling me?
I've been telling people for quite some time. I don't have an exact date, but for a while that cyborgs are a very real possibility.
Yeah, and the reason, dude, people think they're like, oh, they're gonna rejuvenate. The reason they're unlocking the shit in you is to put it in a robot, so they just transfer their minds. They've already said it. The people that are like building this shit don't care that they're human. Like it's anti-human. That's why they
it's an interesting
built a
concept.
fucking god.
It's an
They
interesting
want to,
concept.
dude. They want to be the ones
Could
to
you
make God. They
could
want
you
to make
install
God.
my consciousness? Could you install my consciousness in a robot?
Why wouldn't you? If you wrote all this shit, if you wrote the code, it's literally in there. We make the
Well,
algorithm.
I guess the question is does all my consciousness belong in my brain, or is there something else? I think it's an interesting question.
Dude, they want to make God. They're fighting. These fucking creeps are like, no, I'm going to make God. No, I'm going to. This is them all chasing Dr. Manhattan. Like that, dude, they brag about it. For 20 years, I've heard about automation taking over our lives. It'll create new jobs, Ryan. Okay. How many new jobs? Because we're killing half of our population every year. So we're not going to need new jobs. We have an aging population. We're
That's right.
murdering half of our people every year.
Yeah,
What do you
just
need
put
new
some
jobs
robots
for?
in there. We're good to go.
Well, at least
Ryan,
my 401k is better.
listen, we are on Rumble, but we're also on YouTube, so we do need to be careful because you're saying a lot of things here. But Google, who owns YouTube, has stated that they're going to bring back some accounts that were banned at the Biden administration's insistence.
I thought
Now,
the
this headline
government, Dave,
alone,
didn't.
yeah, the headline alone was a conspiracy theory 5 years ago.
It's treason.
We talked about all this forever. Forever we talked about this.
Dude, this isn't, and obviously to not de-segue from the segue, but like, this isn't even talking about the shadow banning that didn't used to happen, but Crowder caught him. And so, like, you can ban the accounts, but you can't unban fucking time. Like, 5 years of data that I thought the government didn't work with social media companies, David, to target certain members or certain people, or were told by certain political parties. Now, are they doing this because Trump is going to be doing it, and then they're going to be able to go vocal about it that the Trump administration was targeting certain influencers on the internet because they were saying things about him that they didn't like?
Well, I don't know, because this was here. Well, let's just get into the article here. But Google told House lawmakers Tuesday that it would reinstate YouTube accounts that the Biden administration pressed, that's a quote, them to, quote, remove over content related to the COVID-19 pandemic, which is interesting, Ryan, because as you note and know from our own experience, we were told the information was banned because of the World Health Organization. Do you remember this? If your information went against the World Health Organization's information, you would get strikes on YouTube. You would get banned. You would get, well, if you got enough strikes, you'd get banned. But we got plenty of strikes just from sharing medical misinformation. Ryan, it did not coincide with the WHO's information. But here's Google saying that actually it's because the Biden administration was pressing them to remove content. Alphabet, which is the head, it's like the umbrella company of Google. Alphabet
Yeah,
chief
ABC or
counsel
something.
Daniel Donovan told members, well, Alphabet, but yeah, they might own ABC too. I don't know.
No, I thought
Alphabet chief counsel
it's
Daniel
Alphabet, but they
Donovan
call it
told
ABC,
members,
Dave.
oh, I don't know, of the House Judiciary that the 46th administration created a political atmosphere that sought to influence the actions of platforms based on their concerns regarding misinformation. Quote, it is unacceptable and wrong when any government, including the Biden administration, attempts to dictate how the company Alphabet moderates content, Donovan wrote, and the company has consistently fought against those efforts on First Amendment grounds. Bullshit. Bullshit. No, you didn't. You completely went with it. Here, let's be clear.
They actually used the cop
part
out,
of
David,
the
that they
reason-
were a platform or a publisher, rather, that
Yeah.
they were allowed to publish whatever they want. They tripled down in court.
They said they were platforms, open platforms.
This
Listen,
is the
here's the
230
thing.
argument.
The thing that's interesting about all this, though, the thing that's interesting, we know this, and we had suspicions of this long before this. But some of the first real information that came out about this happened because of Joe Rogan and Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg went on the program and said, "Listen, the Biden administration was telling us to remove this content. The FBI was telling us to remove this content." The Department of Homeland Security, I think, was among this. We also know this because Elon Musk bought Twitter, turned it into X, and had the Twitter files, which we covered very in depth. Like, we covered literally every single one, and they were like their own episodes. We went through line by line by line by line. That was more information. That's how we found out about the portals. This was the open information between the government and the platforms. The platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter at the time, openly coordinated with the Biden administration. This isn't. Here's the thing: when he says, "Well, woe is us," the Biden administration made us do it, and we fought against it. You didn't fight against it at all. The whole time you went along with it, banned accounts, shadow banning, moving people down in algorithms, changing algorithms, and listen. Now it's all out in the open, and they have to plead. They have to beg for mercy. They have to pretend that they weren't a part of this.
And here's the real issue. These things are such a monopoly. What are we going to do as people? Right? Like, we can't be like, I just won't buy Samsung products. Everything is a Samsung product.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
What are you going to buy? An iPhone that's basically the same technology, just with an Apple on it?
Sure. I mean, you can, of course, go to Rumble. That's your best bet now. I would say even more so than X. But remember, we had I just had it. Forgot what Parler. We had Parler, and then what did they do to Parler? They shut down the servers. They pulled it from the App Store, but then they also shut down the servers.
Oh yeah, because people were going to the .com, right?
Yeah, go make your own Facebook. Okay, we made our own Facebook. Yeah, well, now you don't have servers. What the fuck am I supposed to do? These people own all the infrastructure. They're in. Well,
the government didn't do it, David. The government didn't do it. We are a publisher, and I can just say what I want. You know what I mean? Even though the internet they want to make it a right for everybody. LOL.
Sure. Users, including current FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, now White House counterterrorism chief Sebastian Gorka, and War Room podcast host Steve Bannon, had been yanked off the video site in recent years after being flagged for repeated violations of COVID-19 and election integrity policies, which is the two things specifically we got hit with constantly. Those users will now be able to rejoin the platform, according to Donovan's letter, a copy of which was obtained by the Post. The Alphabet attorney also claimed in his missive to Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan that YouTube never prohibited posting related to COVID origins, and the site never operated fact-checking program either.
Yeah, they did.
No, Ryan, they just deferred all their information to the WHO. Isn't it interesting? Now that this is opening up, now that we're thinking about it, YouTube wasn't...
it was WHO targeting.
Sure.
It was WHO.
Well, the
it was global.
Yes. Well, YouTube wasn't saying that our information was misinformation. They were saying that the WHO said our information was misinformation. YouTube wasn't fact checking us, Ryan. They were just putting it out there that our information did not coincide with the information of the WHO. YouTube's hands were clear of this, Ryan. This was our policy.
All right, so YouTube gets off the skate. We go after WHO. Then is that what I'm supposed to believe here, Mr. ABC company?
No, we need to go after YouTube. These people need to be held.
They need to be sued. They need to be sued into oblivion. Is what they would actually need to do. Probably have to break up a monopoly.
YouTube takes seriously the importance of protecting free expression and access to a range of viewpoints, Donovan said.
LOL.
YouTube values conservative voices on its platform and recognizes that those creators have extensive reach and play an important role in civic discourse. Here's the thing.
Charlie Kirk.
What's really important is what do you do in the heat of the moment? When YouTube had the chance to tell the Biden administration to get fucked, they bowed. And now that the Trump administration's in charge, and now that they're testifying in front of Congress, oh, what was us? We had no say in this. We were always constantly fighting for the free expression. YouTube values conservative voices on its platform. I don't know. Did you value it when you were shutting us down because we were not agreeing with the World Health Organization? Is that civic discourse? Is that not the definition of civic discourse? I have an idea. The World Health Organization has an idea. Let's let these ideas play out.
Well, Dave, isn't it interesting they say both things in there? That it wasn't YouTube fact checking, it was World Health Organization, but they were told by the Biden administration to take it down. So was the World Health Organization talking to the Biden administration so that they would address YouTube as far as the accounts that needed to be removed for the very violation of the facts that were set up by the World Health Organization to begin with?
It sounds like that's a possibility. I mean, we did
Because
have a global tax, Ryan.
because that's global government.
Sure. Well, we had a global tax, Ryan.
Like definition of global government, the thing that I was told doesn't exist was a conspiracy. And within my own lifetime, David, within covering this, within being a reporter of this, with being a man in the streets, I now have you again for the fifth fucking time. I have you guys on record admitting through laws and through the lawyers and through these third-party World Health Organization, NATO, fucking ASCO, fucking 401k backed bullshit that you circumvent the United States Constitution and made a global government and you corporatized it. And you corporatized it so that you could use it as an entity, as a scapegoat when you get caught legally, that you could say, well, it's some compartmentalization factor. And then everybody in Congress could just play, legally, you violated all the oaths that you ever took, and you all are traitors. I'm pretty sure
Ryan,
when you betray the
how
Constitution, it's
how
death.
often did we hear this? Oh my God, how often did we hear this in the chats? It's a private company, Ryan.
Private company told by a global government. Sounds very private. Sounds the opposite of private. YouTube is a private global platform, David. That's the opposite. They were told by global governments what they could do in their own. Now, granted, how much money does YouTube have? Trillions. They have more money than countries. So where's the authority? Where's the fucking authority? Where's the authority? Oh, that's right, David. The people that sit at these World Health Organizations and all these other organizations like Bilderberg. Sorry, that's a haunted cemetery in New York. They sit on these other companies. They're heads from YouTube. They're this guy from this thing. They're this guy. They're this scientist on dopamine that works at Snapchat. We've covered it on the program. I caught you fucks. Dave caught you fucks with global government in triplets. It's illegitimate. If they hang me in the street, play the video. It's illegitimate. They're all criminal. I will never kill myself. I'm not crazy. They're criminals. They have stolen your country, and they're going to replace me with a robot and tell you that I'm the crazy one. When I caught them with global government, in their own fucking words, in laws, in lawyers, with a global tax, when I was told it was crazy by everybody literally in my local community. You know, there's global government. No, we have representatives. The Democrats would never. Republicans would shoot them. We'd kill them, David, if there was global government. All right, guys, I'm just telling you, they're going to bankrupt your pension funds that you're backing up, all you dumbass teachers. So smart, you forgot to read history books, you fucks. I wonder why they drowned out conservatives in liberal education systems, David. I wonder why. The ones that read history, my cousin, a cousin in my family, teacher, says all the history teachers and economics teachers he's ever met were heavy conservative, heavy Republican.
Oh, history teachers and economic teachers definitely tend to be Republicans. For sure.
That's weird. That's just weird. That's pretty weird. I was told my whole life by all the old people, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it, David. So if I'm doomed to repeat the thing and the people that I learned from my whole life, all the history teachers about the thing that I'm supposed to always remember, Don't remember the dates. Remember the event, David. So all the events that I'm supposed to remember made that guy lean Republican. But every other teacher there told me to go the other way. Told me I'm a club of cells and I don't matter. And that just go to school, listen to authority. And this is where it got me. Global government got me. This is where teachers got me. Global fucking government. That means you don't have a constitution. They're one step away. One step. Who's the global president? That's it. Dono Stono. That's why I said, why does it matter where my citizenship is from? You got to get that global ID. You got to trace your ancestry. We got to swipe. As soon as you're a global citizen, the first thing, David, mark my fucking words, other than bankrupt all the currency so that they have to go to the global government, it will be an economic tyranny. They're going to make everybody get their fucking DNA tested, and they're going to get all your DNA. They're going to put you in a global database, and they don't even fucking need us anymore. And in the private sector, all these years, they've been building CRISPR up in China. They've been doing this. Oh, United States, we're too ethical to fuck with DNA, so we let China do it. And then when the global government gears are all ready, we take all the skirt off like the Wizard of Oz, and now we have all the shit. We have the chimeras. We have the half-human hybrids. They made the aliens, you fucks. They made them. They made them. Tell everybody you know. They made the aliens, you dummies. They made the spaceships. Interdimensional beings. You really name one other time in human history that everybody talked about the same shit the same way. It never happened. Never fucking happened. We can't even debate if Jesus is the Son of God, David. And there's more proof about that guy, more books written about that guy, more paper about him than anybody else in human history. The only other people closest, George Washington and fucking Hitler and Napoleon and Julius Caesar. Mark my fucking words, dude. They're going to put you in a database. I have to wait for the people that get dogs voted, though. They're tyrants. It's all illegitimate. If all of us were to not go to work tomorrow, go down there and forcibly remove them from government, just like Gen Z did in some country around the world. Did you see this? Some country overthrew their parliament. I think UK had burnings at their parliament. People are marching down the bridges and shutting them down. People are like, I've just fucking had enough. They're waiting for America, dude. They're waiting for us. I will walk in the White House. I will gladly go in there, but I can't go down there alone. This shit's illegitimate. This is illegitimate, David. I'm sorry. The entire system's illegitimate. These are corrupt tyrants. It don't even matter Republican, Democrat.
No, you're good. Just a couple quick more points. The GOP state attorney generals had charged in a series of lawsuits during the Biden administration that the federal government infringed on American speech by pressuring various big tech platforms. In July 2023, Louisiana U.S. District Court Judge Terry Doughty determined that the White House likely colluded with big tech to censor protected speech during the COVID-19 pandemic. During a period perhaps best characterized by widespread doubt and uncertainty, the United States government seems to have assumed a role similar to an Orwellian Ministry of Truth, Doughty wrote at the time decision. The Biden administration defended its actions by
judge, David, just some circuit judge lawyer just reference a book that we've talked about in the program. It's not us. We're the fucking canaries. Like, hey, man, read the book. It's kind of in there. Use the same.
The almost done. The Biden administration defended its actions by saying it was merely making requests that tech companies remove suspected misinformation rather than demands. And lastly, Doughty's ruling was overturned by the Supreme Court in 2024, with the justices finding that the state attorney generals lacked standing to bring the case.
Of course. It's not the state attorney. The 10th Amendment it's not good enough here.
But do we have standing now? Google is now openly admitting that the Biden administration had them
I have the most
profiles.
Dave, you and I have the most standing. I have more standing on this fact than any other American. Tell me I'm wrong. Change my mind. Change my mind. I know I yell sometimes. This stuff actually fucking bothers me. We inherited the greatest shit ever, allegedly, and it's just given away to corporations. My entire life, I will work for a corporation. All you people, you think you work for the government, you're a teacher, you're a state worker, you own a business. What's your 401k? What's your business backed by? They told you they shut down family-owned businesses for 100 years that were hundreds of years old, said you're not essential. What do you think your little private family business is going to be good enough? I can't even revolt. The people that were fighting, we can't even revolt. I can't fly to fucking New Zealand. Like, I can't even afford the plane ticket. And the people that can don't speak out because it's a fucking club. Because they're building the robots to leave you here. Like, it's a joke. I wouldn't even doubt it if all the nuclear talk is bullshit by elites to just make us think we're all right there. It's not real anyways. You can have the lady that goes around. I'm not saying she's a liar. I'm not saying that. Was more of like an entertaining thought. But who's to say? Tate said it, dude. Like, how does what do you reference that a bomb hit something that killed whatever? It was some kind of mathematics. The math just didn't math. It was like, well, how do I even know this missile went off? It's the theater of war. When you're strong, appear weak. When you're weak, appear strong. Hitler used to just ride tanks in circles, the same tank, a row of tanks. It'd be like six of them.
So it looked like the military was bigger.
Oh my God, look at what Hitler's doing. It'd scare the citizens.
Yeah, holy shit, that guy's got thousands of tanks. He's got like 25 tanks.
What do you think that social media stream is? Mark Zuckerberg is the Nazi of propaganda. The propaganda czar.
Do you remember when Russia and Ukraine first kind of started off? The media was running around like, man, Russia's military is actually super weak. They can't even take out Ukraine.
That was 5 years ago, David. It's like 3 years ago.
I don't know. That's kind of crazy because, like, I don't know. First of all, they're not just taking out Ukraine. They're taking out Ukraine, but Ukraine's backed by every country in NATO. So right now, Russia is fighting a war with NATO, which is multiple countries, which would imply it's a world war, Ryan, but that would be crazy. So I don't know. Maybe Russia isn't that weak. Maybe they're fighting 20 different countries in NATO right now. It sounds like that would be difficult.
Russia's so weak that Ukraine needed extra arms. Oh, they got tanks from the 80s. Is that why you need $1 trillion? You said $500 billion fucking dollars to Ukraine to beat battered old Ruskies.
That beat old tanks from the 80s.
I heard this one the other day. There was actually a slip. The Ukraine government and people and our allies were using Tinder to get like troop locations, and they would like make fake accounts and be like, "Oh my God, I'm in Ukraine over here."
Crazy. They should have used T.
Whack, dude. I told Dave about this the other day. It's not a knock, but if that's all you got to offer, that's all you got, and it worked. It's the oldest trick in the book, dude.
Ryan, we must get into the Trump assassin here, because this shit is actually kind of fucking crazy.
It's quite shocking. As the verdict was read, it appeared to our producers inside the courtroom that Ruth tried to stab himself in the neck with a pen. That's what it appeared to look like. Then 4 marshals dragged him out of the courtroom, took his coat off. They then shackled him at the waist and ankles, and then they brought him back into the courtroom. So again, this just in from our producers. As the verdict was being read, Ruth tried to hurt himself in the neck with a pen.
Moments after Ryan Ruth was found guilty of 5 federal charges, including the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, he took a pen and tried to stab himself in the neck. Just as jurors were exiting the courtroom, prompting marshals to grab him and drag him out of the room. As he was being removed from the courtroom, his daughter, Sarah Ruth, was screaming, "Dad, I love you. Don't do anything. I'll get you out. He didn't hurt anybody." Minutes later, he returned to the room shackled at his waist and feet. The extent of his injuries wasn't immediately clear, but the white shirt he was wearing didn't appear to have any blood on it. Just over a year ago, on September 15th, 2024, Ruth was spotted by a Secret Service agent as he was camped out in a sniper's nest on the edge of Trump's golf course in Florida. He was arrested soon after the incident, charged with illegal possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Ruth, a 59-year-old construction worker with no formal legal training, represented himself during the 2-week trial, putting on an amateur and bizarre defense in which he suggested the case should be settled by a golf match to the death. He suggested that he and Trump face off on the green, and if Trump won, the president could execute Ruth. If Ruth won, he proposed, he would become president. The jurors took about 2 hours to find Ruth guilty of 5 federal charges of attempted assassination, assault on a federal officer, and gun crimes. Ruth's sentencing date is set for December 18th. He faces up to life in prison.
That's absolutely wild. That's craziness. Like, that's levels of crazy most of us don't understand exists. That guy clearly has some shit wrong with him. He tried to kill the president, presumably. He had a gun at the golf course waiting for President Trump. Tried to kill the president. When he was sentenced, he tried to kill himself. I don't know how far he would think he was going to get with a pen. When he was dragged back in, and then to represent yourself in a trial like this, it's just crazy. This isn't like a civil trial between you and like your neighbor or something. Like, to rep yourself in a criminal case where you're accused of attempting to assassinate the president, and then to be like, I got this, I'm going to handle it myself. And then in trial, using a defense that you're going to, I don't know, beat the president in golf for his job. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but that's some crazy shit. Fucking absolutely crazy.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
No problem. I don't know how much of that you caught, but if you want a summary, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
So the man who was accused of attempting to assassinate President Trump, this was the second assassin at the golf course. First of all, when he was sentenced, he tried to stab himself in the neck. But
I caught that.
Okay, let's back up. He chose to represent himself in court. And in court, he tried to create a proposal where him and Trump would golf versus one another, and whoever won, if Trump won, he would execute the assassin. If the assassin won, he would get to be president. He said this in court.
This is the greatest.
This is an unstable man.
This is the greatest criminal in human history, David.
It's a bold
move, Cotton. Bold move, Cotton. This is fucking.
Hands out for him.
This is Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones fucking trial by combat.
Trial by combat's pretty badass.
I did on my Instagram years ago, but some guy like challenged his wife's lawyer to a trial by combat because he was asking too much money. It was like in an English courtroom. He wanted to.
Holy fuck.
Like, yo, you imagine your lawyer be like, well, I said I'd represent you, dude. And just like, like, where the hell can I get that representation, dude?
Wow.
This guy is unstable, but he's kind of legendary for that. Like, listen. Listen.
It's definitely bold. He's
That's some
very
shit I would
confident in his
say.
golf game too.
Look,
Apparently,
Trump, I just want to be president for one day, dude. Just like I give it back. The second I get in power, I sign that I'm president forever. Be like, gotcha, bitch.
gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha. Dave
That'd be a
Chappelle.
bold. That'd be a bold strategy.
It's good shit, dude. I don't know. What can you say? Oh, I need a damn haircut.
Oh, yeah, we got time. Let's do one more quick one. This is Chuck Todd, who I believe was on NBC, still is on NBC. I don't know. I'd just like to open with this. I'm just going to open with this real quick. We'll listen to his comments from there. But it's interesting because what he's about to explain is the tired old trope that Antifa is not a group. It is a concept, right? It's a construct. It's a movement. It's an idea.
It's like a social construct. Anti-fascists are a social construct, David.
But I would just like to open with this because the point he is trying to make is that you can't. The thing that started this, first of all, is Trump labeled Antifa as a terrorist organization. Okay. But then let's go further. The point he's going to make is that you can't do that because they're not an organization. But I'm going to just counter it now and we'll play the clip. But let's not forget that our own government classified people as domestic terrorists simply because they use words like patriot or America first.
Freedom, liberty, founding
liberty.
fathers, George
Yep.
Washington, Second Amendment, Oath Keepers, 3%ers.
Now, this isn't all a group, right? This is just, these are
Constructs,
ideas, these are constructs, right? Social constructs. So
archetypes, David.
His whole premise is flawed from the get-go, but here's Chuck Todd explaining it.
It's going to be this executive order where they're going to try to create a new classification for anybody on the left who opposes Trump as somehow a member of Antifa and a terrorist.
Yes.
Like, this is coming. And I don't think we are fully... Now,
it's interesting that he says this is coming because he's of the left, when us, Ryan, of the right, would say this has already happened. We wouldn't say this is coming. We would say this is here already.
Edward Snowden said this in 2013.
It's coming, Ryan. It's still coming.
No, the Smurfs are here, dude. Papa Smurf is here.
Now, I don't think there's any...
You had nothing to hide,
remember. I don't even know what Antifa is. I know what the definition of Antifa is. And I know
what the word means, but it's not a group.
There is no group.
No.
And so, but what's dangerous is that by designating it, who's going to define who the group is? And if the Trump administration decides to say, you, George Soros...
These motherfuckers are using the gender argument for a political organization.
That it's fluid?
Well, how you gonna... It's just an idea, David. How do you people organize? If it's not a group, how do you organize to go somewhere? Or let me guess, anti-fascists is don't protest? Is that what I'm supposed to believe, David? Then what the fuck are they doing there if it's not a protest?
I don't know. What was
I thought they were peacefully protesting when they burnt Baltimore to the ground. Remember? Peaceful protests. Mostly peaceful protests. Name of the podcast is Mostly Peaceful Protests. Well, it's the name of one of our podcasts.
It was fiery, but mostly peaceful. They also took over an entire city in was it Seattle?
Yeah, Seattle.
Yeah, but that was not organized.
Not organized. There's no ringleader.
And
it's ran by the government. It's ran by a
he's making the case that, well, who's going to make this designation? I don't know who made the designation about who was domestic terrorists in the past.
Are a part of this group that I designated, and you're like, no, I'm not, and it doesn't matter. Like, they're going to then use that as some sort of potential opening, and I think that's what's so extraordinarily dangerous about these designations. Like what he did with, look, he's sort of testing the theory of this case with what he's doing with Venezuela. And sort of designating this sort of, well, they're narco-terrorists. And somehow it allows, by the way, he's using the AUMF.
Of course.
As their legal cover on this, which of course is just
20-odd years old.
So far removed from what the AMUF was meant to be.
I'm going to say this, because I'm pretty sure that we actually, at the time of when they burned everything down with the George Floyd stuff, we at December 17th, 73, in our internal chat, we actually had lots of discussions. Now, Dave and I basically run the podcast, and it's kind of our creation at this point. Those people were always just kind of like monkeys on our backs helping us out. Not to diminish anything. Kevin has come on the program, and he's entitled to everything he's entitled to. But something that Kevin and I actually disagreed on was like this idea of Antifa. And I always agreed with the premise of like fighting back against the government. But I always said that it looks terrible because I was always told when you try to have a cause, you try to be noble. You do the Charlie Kirk shit. So we see where that gets us. But the point in saying all that is I don't doubt. Look, it's been said about on the right that it's AstroTurf, right? Like the white nationalists. It's really just like all military ran, and then they get the few strays or whatever. I wouldn't doubt if Antifa is the same thing. I wouldn't doubt if Antifa, not that it was like literally our government, but the George Soros operation is a very easy comic book villain to throw on it. But that's the idea. But it could just be like a government organization that started it, or it's black ops, or whatever the fuck it is, or it's its own organization. Fine. But from my understanding, and let's be honest, with the way that I think I understand local politics and like all of the activity around here, I think all the stuff's mostly ran by the government. All the drugs, all the gangs or bikers or whatever you got in your city is probably the railroads. Like that shit is ran by the government. My dad and I talk all the time. They have tracers in the water that track by neighborhood the chemicals in the water, and that's how they know where drug use is raising and lowering, is based on the water runoff from the toilet water. These people have all the data to control the human condition. I am not dumb enough to believe they make these organizations to take your freedoms. They make them as an example. Now, not that the people that go down there aren't government agents. That's not what it is. If you start cutting up to the tippy top, like all of these organizations are ran by fucking federal agents, and they're told to do this. They're told to recruit people. This is how they destabilize society. This is how they destabilize countries and governments and everything fucking else. This is, if you were to look up a military textbook on how to overthrow a country, this is in there. I guarantee it. That's basically what our special operations are, is Antifa members that don't have an organization, David. They're just special operations.
Ryan, if you were a small group of elites and you wanted to keep the large population in check and control, what would you do? You would use divide and conquer. Well, what's step one of divide and conquer? It's divide.
Yeah, also, and I'd also employed the greatest dividers of all time, the military. The people that have spent 50 years of their life being a fucking Navy SEAL like Jocko Willing, and then he gets a phone call to go be a black operator, make the most money he's ever made in his life, and all he has to do is not say a fucking word. And these people do what they love. Don't get me wrong. The people that join the military that kill people love killing people. It's their job. They view it as a job. That, sorry, dude, I got shit to do. I got to go home to my kids. And they will take somebody's life every day of the week. They have no problem going down and punching people in the face on a Saturday because of some political. They have zero issue doing that. Believe me. I don't know if I've ever met them, but I don't put anything past the military. I say that every so often, but it needs to be reiterated more. This is a militarized scientific takeover of your life. And I'm not going to skirt around the idea that Trump is basically, he's using they kind of didn't say it this way because they have to pay partial, David, because they sided with Antifa. I've sided with Patriots, but I'm not fucking bound to any of these labels. But they hijack your movement and take it to rob you of your liberty at the federal level. They say, look at what this group is doing, even though the government agents ran the group and told them what to do. That's where, remember when the reports of all those blocks just mysteriously popped up all over the place? That's the type of shit they do. And then, like, the shit disappears so fast. What are you going to run the pallet, the fucking brick number? Oh, you got a part number on the brick? Where the bricks? How do you know the bricks came? Like, and they're bricks. You could just, you know how many You know how many like military operators probably just have a pallet of bricks at their house or like a military base?
There's Ring doorbells. There's cameras at every corner. Somebody saw the bricks getting dropped off.
So it's just, that is what it is. These are AstroTurf movements at the very tippy top. They're controlled opposition so that they can use them as scapegoats. This is in a playbook. I'm not every time. I'm not saying it's every situation. But when you really get into movements like this, what we're describing, it's all been there. It's all laid there. And like I said about this whole fascist takeover, yes, Trump is accelerating executive power and taking liberties from his people. 100% tyrant. Great. Glad we got that off the list. But all of this shit that's in there predates Trump. So this has been the issue. This has been known, back to your point, David, about people on our side of the aisle. If you were to listen to us like 10 years ago, like the problem is we got hung up on universal basic income and fucking healthcare. We got hung up on healthcare and free college. Free college and healthcare is why we're going to get replaced by robots.
Well, we got caught up playing teams though, which is exactly what the elites would be looking for. Their plan worked to a T. Like if they were looking, like I said, if they were looking to divide and conquer, you got it. You got it. Because we told you what was going to happen. You didn't listen. You said we were on the wrong team. And now it's happening to you. And now I'm supposed to feel bad. I don't think it's right what like we talked about the what was the Trump administration. They're basically doing a lot of the things that all the people on the left were doing to people like us, Ryan. But now, like, for example, perfect example is Destiny getting banned from Twitch. I don't agree with Twitch banning Destiny, but I'm sorry. It's really hard for me to feel bad for him. Super hard for me to feel bad for you. Because sorry, fuck you. Because for fucking 10, 15 years, we were saying this was happening. And we were told that it was a conspiracy theory or boohoo. You're just a small minority. That's why you're not popular. Really? Is that what it is? Or is it because the Biden administration told Google to censor us?
You guys just can't win the intellectual debate. You literally don't allow it to happen. You shoot the guy in the throat. Well, back to finger painting, Dave. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble for the greatest podcast in human history. As always, David, I appreciate you the most for your time. And I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, dude.